Hey, this is Meredith's husband. I've got some SEO advice for you, but I'm going to keep it really simple so that you can understand it, so it makes sense, and most importantly, so you can actually use it.
What we going to talk about today?
I wanted to share something today that I came across a couple weeks, actually probably a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And I got very excited.
Uh-oh.
I got really, really excited. And then when I sat back and looked at what I was getting so excited about, I thought to myself, man, I'm a dork.
Yes.
I was really excited about this.
Oh, I also have to ask you all about the email thing that everyone's talking about.
Yeah. I just told people I was super excited about something, and then
Okay, well, let's go back to what you have to say. Okay, what were you very excited about?
So a couple of weeks ago, I discovered this kind of by accident. I don't remember where it was. Probably an ad that I saw somewhere, maybe YouTube, I'm guessing.
Something
I don't really know.
that made hair grow?
Nope. And it was exciting, not because of what it was, because I'll share what it was in just a second. It's pretty dull, but it solves a huge problem, or a very, very common problem for local business owners who work from home.
Oh.
Which
Me?
I think is a lot of photographers.
Yeah.
I know a lot of photographers who have dealt with this, and that is, what do you use as your business address for your Google business profile? Because this is a big issue, because if you work from home, a lot of times you don't want to put your home address.
Yeah, because remember that one time that somebody just showed up at 9 on a Sunday morning, rang my bell, said, hey, I'm here to get my pictures taken.
Yeah. So there's that. There's also just the privacy. Like, you don't really want to put out to the world everywhere. Like, if they Google your name, they're going to see immediately, they're going to see where you live.
No.
Not only the address, but the picture of your front door.
Yeah.
Like, that's not really cool.
That's not cool.
So the options that Google gives you for this, actually Google suggests that you do, is you have a service area instead of an address.
Can you do that?
Yeah. And that is actually, like in your case and a lot of photographers, that is kind of what they recommend. The problem is that when you do that, Google doesn't match your, well, you just don't list your address. You still have an address.
No.
But the problem is that your visibility in search goes down almost immediately because you don't have an address. So Google doesn't connect you to local people. And I've known photographers and small business owners who do this, and literally overnight they were getting pretty good business through Google, and all of a sudden they get zero. So even though that's what Google kind of recommends, and I'm usually a big proponent of doing what Google recommends, that's not cool either.
No, that's not cool.
That's not a good solution either. So the other options have always been, well, you can rent an office space, which expensive. Yeah. You can get a virtual office as long as that office is has somebody there during business hours. Also
to collect
expensive.
Your mail?
Yeah. No. Your mailbox can be there without a person, but it has to be in a location where there is somebody there during business hours.
Okay.
That's one of Google's rules.
Fair enough.
So, for example, you cannot use a PO box.
We did before.
No, we never used a PO box.
Oh, right.
We used a mailbox service.
Yes.
And that is a solution, but that got expensive.
Yeah, it did.
That was for a while, I think that was under $100 a year, wasn't it?
It was like 150 on 149.
Okay. And then it jumped up significantly.
Yeah.
And those places are expensive. Technically, it was like a mailbox plus type of place where there is somebody there. Mm-hmm. There is somebody behind the desk during business hours. You do have a mailbox, but that's just kind of expensive.
Yes.
And then plus, if somebody sees that address, and somebody Googles your name and they see that address,
that
looks a little weird too. So
that's not call you from I'm here in front of looks like a mailbox place. Is this where I'm supposed to be?
So that doesn't seem to be a great solution either. So, I mean, it's been my feeling that people who work from home, like you and a lot of people in similar situations, are just kind of shit out of luck.
Quotes. Well, we can't be shit out of luck. Did you find a solution?
I found a solution.
Hey, bring it on, my friend.
So this place, I saw an ad somewhere. I don't remember where. It was for something called ipostal1.com. I was going to say the number I. The letter I.
The number. So the letter I.
Postal1, the number 1.com. And I've kind of wondered why places like this It is pretty bad. I've kind of wondered why there hasn't been solutions like this. And what it is a sort of a virtual mailbox with a location. So it has an address, and it is sufficient to accept business mail. You can have a business registered at this mailbox. Technically, you can't have a business registered at, or as far as Google is concerned, you can't have a business registered at the post office or one of these mailbox places. So I went ahead and I did this for my own listing. I wanted to test it out before I shared it with anybody because I wanted to make sure it actually worked.
You better.
So I went through the process.
You better. Well
and
said.
It was kind of a pain. Like it wasn't a simple like 1-2 click and you're done. It wasn't. I mean, it took like maybe 30 minutes. But what happens is you sign up for an account. It is, I believe it's $10 a month.
Okay.
Or I think it's like $100 a year. You get a discount for a year. You have this process that you have to go through, and that involves, signing some things. You have to actually upload your business incorporation certificate, and an ID, and then you have to have those things notarized.
I was just going to say,
but they link to a thing where you can do it online. Now,
is it legit?
No, that was what I was wondering.
Great runs.
So I went ahead and I did that. So it costs money to do the online thing because then you're actually that's a kind of a different service. You can do it through the mail for free, but I wanted to sort of expedite this so I could test it out and share it with people. So I went through the online, and what it is you literally Zoom with somebody, a notary, and they look at your documents and you swear and you talk via Zoom for a couple minutes.
Is this legit? It sounds like it could totally be just like a family somewhere in the world.
Oh, so the person, I got he may have been overseas somewhere, but he's a notary.
Okay.
So, and I was wondering. He's a
notary and he does notaries. And you needed. Okay.
I don't think you do a notary, but.
No, you notarize.
You notarize.
Like motorize.
Yeah. So like halfway through this process, I'm like, wait a minute, I have no idea where in the world this guy is. This could be some sort of scam, but I wasn't providing any like information that I felt that could lead to being compromised.
Your ID?
My ID, yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I went through the process. I got a new address, and in that process, when you're signing up, you select, you put in your location, and it gives you back a bunch of locations that you can choose from. And they are at place, in our case, the one that I chose, there is a Staples down the street.
Right.
They use an address there. So my new business address for Meredith's husband is at this Staples. Now, I wouldn't want to use a business address. Because I'm online, it doesn't, I'm not a local business, but I wanted to test this out and just see what happened.
Okay.
Because there's a fear like that Google is, they're just not going to accept this.
Right.
So I wanted to try it out. So everything worked. I left the address on there. If you want to see what it looks like, I'll link below to my Google profile so you can see what the address looks like.
Staples.
Yeah, it does. It actually, so there is a picture of Staples. Yeah, it's not the greatest. There are other locations.
But when would you use this? Is this something you'd put on your website?
No. Well, actually, you probably would want to put it on your website. Yes. But because you're a local business.
Right. You
need to have an address. So it's this is specifically for people who are working out of their home but don't want to use their home address and don't want to pay hundreds of dollars per month or per year for a staffed virtual office.
Right.
This is a $10 a month option.
Okay.
Now, I'll link to iPostal One also, but it's not it's not an affiliate link. Okay. Because I haven't used this. Like I said, I just discovered this a few weeks ago. I don't want to use affiliate links for something that I haven't used long term and I know really well.
Yes.
Because it is possible that 6 months from now, Google will say like, no, that's not a legitimate address. I don't think they will, but anything is possible.
Oh man.
So like so we live in Brooklyn. There were a lot of locations to choose from.
Hey, the house.
But Staples is like, they are, an 8-minute walk from our apartment. So it's our neighborhood.
Where the crow flies.
I don't know what that means. Crows go to Staples?
No, when you give a direction, you're like, we're 8 minutes walk where the crow flies.
I thought it was like by the crow or something else. I don't know.
Where the crow flies. Watch the crow fly.
So as I was saying, if you want to see what this looks like, you can go check out. I'll link it below. You can check out.
Isn't it going to just look like a picture of Staples?
Yeah. I mean, you can.
Everyone run!
Well, you can see how it's listed and what and where is that picture of Staples and how big is it going to be and what is the other if there's another picture there.
Where would that show up?
So if you Google your business name, in my case, if you Google Meredith's husband, well, you first get something about what Grey's Anatomy and who is Meredith's husband on Grey's Anatomy. Right. By the way, Meredith's husband, terrible name for SEO, but I like it. But then on the side, right in the side, like if you were to Google Meredith's Inner Photography, you know how there's that panel on the side and it has your logo and it has the map and your address and your reviews.
Does it have my new logo? I haven't even looked.
So you can see what it looks like. And again, I can't guarantee this is going to work long term, but it's working.
At least it won't have people showing up at your door.
You don't have to list your address. And to me, it seems a much better alternative to doing the service area because people with those using the service areas, they just don't seem to get any hits that way. Like when people search and they go on Google Maps. Yeah. If you're using a service area, you don't appear there.
They don't love you like that.
So anyway, like I said, I got really excited about a postal box.
We should have thought of something like that.
Yeah. I mean, do you
remember when we once were gonna? Remember when we were like, I know a quick side gig. Let's make goodie bags.
Yeah, so many side gigs.
Oh my gosh.
I was saying something.
Yeah, and I interrupted because my brain went a different way.
Oh, what I was saying, there are alternatives. There are other companies out there doing this. And I remember I did look into it like a couple years ago, but the price is expensive. Yeah. They start like some of them were hundreds of dollars per month. What? Some of them were $90 a month. I mean, again, to me, that's just like that's expensive. You know?
That's expensive.
So this is it's the lowest
for something
cost option that I know of.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, specifically if you have that issue, check this out. Think about it. This might be very helpful.
Think about it.
I hope it is.
What are we gonna talk about today? Oh, my husband. Oh, my husband.
I'm going to turn that into the intro.
I really think it should be. Hey. Thank you so much for listening. We really hope that you find this helpful and useful. And if you do, what you could do for us as a thanks would be to, drumroll please, yes, leave a review. Yes, everybody says it, I know, but it really does make a difference. Take 3 seconds, leave as many stars, say something really nice about what you like about the podcast and maybe why other people would like it. It would mean the world to us, especially my husband. That better? All right, I'm going to try one where I'm not going to be charming.